Welcome to another episode of Z.Pixel.Bro. Well, in the episode of Son of the Force, episode 2, we're gonna start seeing how the development process of the character is going on. In the past episode, we see that we need to build a silhouette based on obviously grayscale, then go and see the illumination, the direction of the illumination, and where it's coming. That's very important to maintain volume and put certain landmarks in the body. We put basic color to a character to see is that the palette we wanted to go, right? Well, in this episode is not too much to talk about because normally right now we need to start rendering the character, just putting shadows, some volume in the body, and doing some second generation of detail. In the final of the video, we're gonna start seeing some of that process going on. So right now it's only putting shadows, relaxing, put a little music, and chilling, just painting, seeing if the proportion of the body is right. In this episode, we work a little bit with the landscape around, so that's one of the things we work in bringing some photo references for the floor and for the back and the body as well. So in this part, I need to remember myself where's the illumination coming from in this. So I put the line of left to right, and then put in the rim light to right to left, just to pop out the character in the scene. And it's very important to have some ambient lighting, some atmosphere, as well to blend out the foreground, middle ground, and background. This is gonna maintain just your character focus for the viewer, right? When you're doing a character, right, you need to understand, what the story that you are bringing for in the table, right? And having this case, son, the son of the forest is a fantasy creature, right, made of wood, and he can summon weapons depending the element around him. So let's say he summoned a short sword meaning if there are rocks and trees and vines and leaves, etc. Meaning he can transform them in a weapon, right? And having a general story of the character actually really help when you are building, a character. And having a basic palette of a character is is very important because if you already um, have a solution for the problem, normally it's color. When you bring um, to grayscale and then put some color, um, you need to tweak a little bit and adjust the colors and that. In this um, video and this episode, I only work a very subtle the the grayscale part, right? I just wanted to focus on having the shape of the character to build it correctly, then do the liner because um, I see more the character in the liner. It's very important for me because when I'm doing liner, I can have some general information when I'm building a character in ZBrush, right? So now we see I swap, flip, sorry, a character, and this is very important because perspective and silhouette of the character um, needs to work up, down, right, left, in any direction because um, no matter where you look at, well, a character need to look as the same, no matter what position, right? So we use a tool called Lookify. Lookify actually helps a lot when you see minor errors in your characters. You can move around um, the illustration, and it really helps a lot when you see some general landmarks, or, in bad positions, or only have minor movement that you don't want to have a lasso tool and move it around because maybe you only need a curvature in the illustration. So Liquify actually help a lot in that part. Maybe this part, or maybe this general episode is a little bit boring in the moment because this is the part when you sit back and just relax, just paint, put some music on, and this is the cruise, part of the any illustration. Because when you're building up a illustration or any character, you need to have various concepts, and these concepts always gonna become useful or not useful for the director or lead or the person actually you're building a concept. Don't never do one concept because you're not and call yourself a concept artist. It don't work like that. If you are going to do concept, do variables of 3, 4, 5, or 6 variables. If you don't have a general idea of the character and you don't have the right story at the moment, I suggest that actually do more than 5, do more than 6, do 10 or 20, and then go back and say, okay, what is of all this concept what I like, and start picking some of them and say, okay, of this 20, I will pick 10. Of this 10, I will pick 5 or 6. And then you start, rendering out the character. And when you have a general idea and And maybe the director or lead asks you for only three concepts because maybe they don't want to have so much ideas on the table because maybe they have another concept artist as well working. So having 10, 20, and 10, 20, and imagine 10 concept artists having like 20 ideas and all different. It's gonna be very difficult for the director to start choosing what is the right direction, right? So you have a general idea, you know, just do three, four designs for for the director, right? For example, and if you don't have a general idea, so just go crazy and start, you know, putting all the ideas in the table, right? So in this part, I just, you know, seeing the characters and say, okay, I need to put some nature things around the character because it's looking a little bit, you know, empty, right? So I'll put some moss and some mushrooms in his body to pump it out, you know, and see, okay, he is right now a nature character. So in this part, I'm just doing some details. It's like he have a belt of rocks, a build up in binds, and I would see very interesting because I am very inflated by the Japanese culture or samurai culture, and I've been always love a monk style um, culture that actually they have. I don't know the name. I'm sorry for that, but they have balls around the neck. Normally the monks, or they maybe have belts, really big belts. Um, and I always like the the silhouette when they do the character or anybody put that kind of detail into the body. It really, for me, is a very good aesthetic for a character because it's break the silhouette. When you see the character, you put this character white and black, and the silhouette reads really well, right? Have you? I have a comment that actually come up, and I wanna point it out. Um, all these brushes, it was built up when I was studying. It was from a good friend of mine and teacher as well called Jose Vega. He actually gave me these brushes, so I really like them because they bring texture in the table. Um, I don't know how to use it very well at the moment. I have few brushes that I really like because bring some general details into the character, and I really love them, you know. But hey, I can put the brushes on the link below for you guys to download and use it as you will. They're actually really good brushes, you know. And they're gonna help you build and have a clean line art if you want texture in your line. Actually, they're really good brushes there. So now in this part, I see the hand actually was a little bit off for me, and I started to I erase it, and start doing a liner and put the color again. And I invite you that when you are building a character, don't how I say this, don't get in love to a character so badly that you cannot change it, because this is a development character, and right now this is not a major change, just is that the hand didn't work for me. It was cricket and all that actually that don't read right in perspective, right? So um, and this is one of the things actually that bring that team back is that when you are building a character, don't get in love. That when you do the first sketch or the first liner of this character, don't get in love, because the director or a lead or the person you are doing the concept is gonna maybe you're gonna say no, or say no, I don't like it. Mm-mm, no, you didn't, and you need to do another one. That's why I always invite the concept artists to actually do more than one concept, because it's gonna help you to choose the right um, character or design. Because maybe you are not doing a character, maybe you are doing props and doing weapons or doing cars, and so this is very important to have a variable of concepts. But if you are doing in this case like this episode, that actually I know the thematic of the painting, and I know what I needed. I didn't do a lot of concepts because it's for me. I just have the idea in mind and say, okay, this is a good part to starting development process of a character. Where I'm really really sorry that I did not take the video of the liner first building up, right, doing the process of the liner. I I just started with the silhouette for the videos, but the line art for me was I didn't do a lot of searching around because I have the general idea of it, and I started doing the concepts and putting a little bit of story into it. I have a character actually. It's like I would say this. Well, he is an animal. He is the guardian of the forest. You can guys check it out in our station. The link is in the channel. Is in the channel. Sorry, and in my Facebook, Instagram, the character is, I have images for it. So I invite you guys to search a little bit of the guardian of the forest. It was a 2D character that I did. I did it in ZBrush and render it in KeyChop. And this development of the character actually, when we finish the illustration, we're gonna jump into ZBrush to, start building awesomeness, right? In some illustration, when you are building a character, some general details actually repeat himself through a character, right? And sometimes you don't need to detail another hand so much that the first hand in the camera, right? If at your point of view you have your first arm first, let's say your right hand first in the camera, and then your left arm is off of the camera, you don't need to detail it more. You detail first your right hand and then detail the second hand, but your second left hand is not going to receive so much detail by the view of the camera. It's very far away. You can cheat out, and maybe it's not cheat out. It's like um, your brain actually see the details of your right hand, right, and instantly go to, okay, this is the same detail in, of the left hand. So if you put the general colors and general detail that actually have another arm, the brain actually gonna capture it very fast and say, okay, this is the same arm, right? And if you're starting building a characters of any fantasy silhouette, I'm sorry, sci-fi, or doing humans and aliens, etc. Um, every character is based in a human anatomy. You need to know human anatomy to understand how the body works, and and put the same law and physics, in any character. So now you see, putting some color in the terrain, to say, okay, let's search what I want and what the line of horizon I want in this scene. If you search a little bit of line of horizon, there are line of horizon that actually are dynamic. Just little have a little inclination, and anyway, and left or right, it don't matter. So I build in some elements like rocks and having a little bit of level, having some layers, right? And if you put foreground, and because I have my foreground, my middle ground, and my background. So very important to have a little bit of element that should break that. So right now I use photo references, photo texture that actually help me to put some general details into the floor. And I want to put this. I laugh because when I was studying, I have a professor that actually I hated it when he do that. I really hated it, and I say, hey, this is very important because for me, like in 3D character designer and future concept artist, this is gonna be an easy way to put it to texture and then paint it over, right? So I'm and all this practice for me is very important because this is I can count it with one hand. This is like the third time I do this, um, and it was very fun. It was awesome having this kind of information again to use it because I'm doing a lot of characters in ZBrush, and it's not you forget. It's like riding a bike. When you are not riding a bike for so much years, and when you come back and try to ride the bike, you're just like, okay, what I need to do first, right? It's the same here. When I'm building this character, it was okay. What I need to do first, and I say, let's do the silhouette, then do the colors, then do the texture, right? And it was a little bit difficult for me in the first time, but I get the hang of it. I hope if anybody have some critique um, for it, you guys are more than welcome to give me some love and say, hey, you're doing it wrong, or do this in the next time, and I will find this information. I've been more than willing to find it and learn a little bit more, right? So I bring a photo right now and say, hey, this photo don't work because have too much noise and not good for the trees, right? So I bring in all the texture and start working around the texture, and I invite you that when you are putting photos, put the silhouette because see right now, this is a cylinder, right? If and the cylinder normally have his shadow and when I have the arrows going like okay this is my illumination, you always need to put in your mind what kind of shapes are in the environment, right? The cylinder, it's a circle, or it's a triangle, or it's a cube, right? Go to general, go to the basics, go to your roots, right? Fundamentals. When you start to paint some shadows, right? You always go from basic shape. Don't go straight to details and something very difficult. Because if you are drawing in let's say an arm, and the arm normally is a cylinder, and we know we have landmarks of muscle that actually make some protrusion out and you know make a little bit of shattering. So that's more difficult, but go basic. Go to the cylinder, render a cylinder, render a box, render a triangle. It's very important for you guys to have that kind of information and understanding as well. Normally now it's only it's photo references and putting the scene up and giving some love to the landscape. And this is not wrong. Actually, it's very very good because it helps you develop some understanding of elements in the ground because it is very very nice to have this kind of details and make you feel good, and say I'm doing the right thing. So use photo references for anything you guys need. So this is very very important to establish a good understanding of elements and the texture of it. So now I see, okay, all this tree looks awesome and my character right now is not looking like a bar tree, right? So I decide to have, okay, let's put in some texture as well. Just some minor textures, nothing so hardcore that actually the details that I have go away. Just, adjust the color and the illumination of the image, right? And start building a little bit. So this episode coming to the end and very soon, and I really want to thank you all the subscribers and the views and the people who comment. I really love your guys' feedback. Thank you a lot for all that kindness, and you guys are awesome. Thank you very much for just being there, man. Just for being there, and thank you a lot. I hope I see all the people, all my subscribers, right, all the viewers in the next one. And this only is the start of many videos of information. And I want to point this very very fast. My communication, this video is for learning, right? I want you guys to learn, and any information is not coming right, just let me know. Ask me a question, write me a comment, just let me know. I will write you back if the information of the video is not coming out correctly, and then in the next video I know I will get better at it and have more information for you guys. So don't forget, subscribe if you guys want more content, more tutorials, how to build your characters, right? Give me a like. This helps a lot, right? So I hope you guys enjoy this lovely video, and see you in the next one. Hell yeah. Peace out. Peace out, people. Bye bye. Boom.